Here at 105.5 WDHA and the Jersey Magazine, from time to time, we like to update you on things that have happened with previous guests. And back in mid-January is when we first spoke with Amy Nolan. And a week ago this time, Amy was at the Super Bowl. So from the Super Bowl to WDHA, Amy, welcome back.
Thanks, Jim. It's so great to be here again.
And the big news from Amy is she is one of the three newest inductees into the Ford Hall of Fans. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you so much. This has been the most amazing experience. It's been just what a roller coaster that it's been, but it's just been great.
And there were, I think, 14,000 fans who entered the contest.
Right.
And there were tens of thousands of votes, and you were one of the top three. So tell us about the whole experience when you found out that you were being inducted. What happened?
Yeah, it was amazing. So we actually found out a few days beforehand that we were going to the Super Bowl. So we got to go to LA for the game. And then we just knew sometime that weekend we would be told whether or not we were actually being inducted. So we had all different, all scheduled things that we had to attend, and we never knew when it was going to come. And so Friday morning of Super Bowl weekend, the three of us, we were all sitting in the hallway, Michael, Terrence, and I. And, they said we were going in the room to do some videos and things like that. And then Michael went in first, and Terrence and I were sitting in the hallway. And all of a sudden, Charles Woodson, Hall of Famer, comes walking down the hallway, and he just walks right past us. He knocks on the door and he enters the room, and we hear him tell Michael that he's being inducted. So that was awesome to hear that. And then they actually came out and said to Terrence and I, well, you heard it's Michael and not you guys. So they actually told us we weren't being inducted at first. Then we went into the room to sit down. And as we were, doing some interviews and just kind of chatting in there, we heard the knock on the door. Charles Woodson came in and he told us we were being inducted. That's
incredible. It's just a great story. So what were your emotions as you found this out?
I mean, the emotions were just off the charts. I mean, of course, at first to be told you're not being inducted, and just to be a part of this process has been amazing. So even if we weren't inducted, it still has been the most amazing experience. But to kind of have that low emotion after hearing that, and then to see Charles Woodson come in, I mean, the excitement. I think I just kind of fell back on the couch, and Terrence and I just kind of hugged each other, and it was amazing.
And obviously, if you're watching the video, you can tell Amy is a big New York Giants fan from the jersey. What number is that? I can't see. I can only see
26. One of the This is my Saquon jersey.
All right, the Saquon Barkley jersey, the big NY in the background, the logo that, of course, has been on the helmet for so many years. Amy Nolan, our guest this morning here on the Jersey Magazine at 105.5 WDHA. Now, from that, though, you have to wait till August, I believe, to be formally inducted, correct?
Yes, the induction itself will actually take place in August, right at the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton.
Wow. So you'll be hobnobbing with some big names there.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
When did you start following football?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I was born a Giants fan pretty much, so we were just Giants fans our whole lives growing up. But I would say probably a little bit later, like more high school and college, I really just fell in love with the sport of football even more. And then being a Giants fan and starting to follow football and starting to go to games and home games, away games. It's just got, it's at the point where I never miss a game, whether I'm traveling, whether I'm home, whether I'm, like I said, at the game itself. I'm just such a huge football fan and such a huge fan of the New York Giants.
What was the first game you went to? Do you remember?
The first game I went to was actually the Giants-Patriots game right before we beat them in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So that was right. That was the Pats' undefeated season. We were the last game of the season for them. They beat us. Mm-hmm. But then, then we got him back in the Super Bowl that year.
We do know how that ended. Yes, absolutely. Amy Nolan, my guest here at 105.5 WDHA on the Jersey Magazine. And again, back in mid-January, we had Amy on when she was just a nominee for the Ford Hall of Fames and Hall of Fans, I should say. And then this past Sunday being told that you're in, and the ceremony is coming up on August. In addition to being a huge Giants fan, Amy is the executive director of development for the American Cancer Society. What does that job entail, Amy?
Well, I work with a great team, and we basically put together walks for the community to come out and, come together, unite as a community to fight back against cancer. Of course, those walks are also, fundraisers so that we can bring in funds for the American Cancer Society to fund cancer research, to fund programs and services for cancer patients, and really to be there when cancer patients need us.
And this, of course, has a personal meaning for you because of your dad who passed away from cancer back in 2006, right?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And again, my dad was the one that, turned me on to being a Giants fan. So, it's really special. I mean, obviously to be a Giants fan and to go through this experience, but to be able to work for the American Cancer Society and give back to those who are dealing with a cancer diagnosis, just like we dealt with it as a whole family. So it's very, very meaningful.
And the last time you and I were on back in mid-January, we talked about that, that feeling that you get when if you're the person who has cancer, when you're told you have cancer, and how life-changing that is. And also for the family members as well, because as a family member, there's nothing you can do. And I know you know this feeling because we talked about it, that feeling of helplessness that you can't do something. And to be able to do a walk or organize something like that kind of puts it back into your hands in some way, shape, or form, even if it's just a small thing.
Yep, it really, really does. It really gives people the chance to feel like they can do something. Like you said, it really is a feeling of helplessness when, when you can't help that person, other than obviously supporting in, whatever they need. But to be able to go out and do the walk and just bring our family and friends and just everybody from the community. We participate in a walk right in my hometown. That's the same town where my dad grew up. So to participate there and walk there, it's so meaningful every single year. And, we also celebrate all the cancer survivors from the community. So we invite them to come out and be recognized. And then we also do a special remembrance ceremony called our Luminaria ceremony, which is when we light the track with candles and we do a lap in silence to remember those that we've lost.
There's such a bond between parents and their kids with sports. And you talked about your dad and the relationship that you had with football. And I know that watching my son play high school baseball, my dad, who had been gone many years at this point, I'm watching and I still feel that connection with him. And at one point, Amy, I don't tell this to too many people, I actually heard my dad's voice while my son was playing. Even now, it just gives me chills. It was so weird because he had passed away back in 1980. So it's been a long time. So, to hear his voice again, have you had that experience? And I'm thinking, did it happen during the Super Bowl, especially as you find out that you're going into this Ford Hall of Fans? Did something happen to you while you were in California?
I mean, absolutely. I wouldn't be here if my dad wasn't a Giants fan and didn't turn me on to the Giants in the first place, So definitely you still feel that bond, through football and really through all sports. I played a lot of different sports growing up. My dad coached me. When I first started playing softball at 6 years old, he was our coach. And so, we were, sports was always a big thing between us. So yeah, to hear that I'm being inducted and to be at the Super Bowl, you definitely still feel that connection and you feel like he's there with you.
We're talking with Amy Nolan this morning here at 105.5 WDHA, a huge lifelong Giants fan. Just found out this past Sunday at the Super Bowl that she will be inducted into the Ford Hall of Fans coming up this August. So you're watching the Super Bowl, and we may have talked about this during the playoffs. As you're watching those two teams and those two quarterbacks, what kind of feeling did you have of how close or far away the Giants may be?
Yeah, that's a tough one. But I mean, it was a great game. It was a great game. I mean, the score was so close, and that's really, what we were hoping for. Obviously, if your team isn't in the game, you just hope for a good game, right? But yeah, I mean, watching those two teams play and watching, the quarterbacks and it was just an amazing game. And I think the Giants we're definitely on our way back. We're definitely rebounding. I'm really excited about our new GM. We have a whole new coaching staff. I'm just really, really excited to see what we can do. And I think, this coming season is just going to be the first step in making our way back to the playoffs and hopefully to the Super Bowl.
One of the things and I noticed it pretty much, I think more with Jets fans on social media, but Giants fans as well, especially as they watched the Bills-Chiefs playoff game. And they're going, we're not on this level. We can't compete with this. And even, Mac Jones, you were talking about the Patriots before. He had a very nice rookie season. Yep. But I know a lot of Patriots fans are looking, going, there's no way we can compete at that level. So there's a lot of work to be done, I think.
There's definitely a lot of work to be done. I will say though, I did meet Daniel Jones at the Super Bowl weekend. We were in the same hotel. So I did get a picture with them, and, just getting to say hi to your quarterback. And be there in person with them. It still gives me hope, gives me lots of hope.
And you're going to be in Canton long before he is. Tell us about this year's Relay for Life walk, Amy.
Yeah, so our walks are, coming up this spring. We have walks really in many, many different communities throughout New Jersey and across the country and even around the world. So people can participate in Relay for Life wherever they are. You can go to relayforlife.org and just find, put in your zip code, find the walk nearest to you. My family and I will be at the walk in Middletown, which is on Saturday, June 11th. And, really looking forward to it again this year. Really, really excited to be able to get back in person and to have our walk, because unfortunately the past years we haven't been able to have our walks. And so we've, had to do other, virtual and things like that. But we're really, really excited to get back out on the track this year.
And once again, that website is relayforlife.org, and you put your zip code in. Amy, first, again, congratulations on the award and winning. That is so great. And we look forward to seeing you in Canton this coming August.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate it.